So Nick Derry, what do you have done to your trailer?
So this is a 6x10 trailer from Lowe's. All we really did was modify it to hold the tires on. We took the tailgate off the back of it so we could load up into our bins. We tried adding enough bins so that we can leave them loaded up the whole time, have one compartment for everything. So we've got fluids, tools, camping gear, clothes, and then we put our coolers going down the middle, and then we added the truck box on the back. It's worked out pretty good, but I got a few ideas for next year.
What would you do different if you're going to build another one?
If I'm going to do another one, I think what I would like to do is put some walls on it so that I got somewhere to hide when it rains and gets windy, and I could put my cot inside of it, and probably balance the weight out a little bit more. It's kind of a balancing act between the tongue and the hitch, or the tongue and the back.
Looks like some outstanding welding quality here.
I'm standing here with Phil, the owner of the ZR1 and this very unique Corvette trailer. Yep. Phil, tell me a little bit about it.
So the Corvette trailer is actually, it's a kid's bed. I cut out the inside, built a wooden frame for it, sized up my drag radials, made sure they fit in there, and it holds those 2 drag radials, my jack, tote full of fluids and stuff. And then I went to Alaska, so I added 2 gas cans here and then a spare tire on the top.
So this thing is road tested.
Road tested. It's been a Sick Week. It's been to Rocky Mountain Race Week a couple of years now, and then Alaska Speed Week, and then here. So. And
now I was driving behind you the other day, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you got this Corvette bed tail lights rigged up to your lights.
Yep. I got the tail lights to work, brake lights, signal lights, everything works.
So now you put a couple thousand miles on this trailer. If you could change anything or add anything to it, what would it be?
I'm thinking about adding a rooftop tent to it, to be honest. I want to try camping at the track.
Oh, good idea.
Other than that, I'm gonna make the change to an aluminum trailer, and then just a couple little changes here and there. I haven't decided all what I'm gonna do, but I kind of have a couple things to get the ball rolling.
It evolves every year.
Yeah.
Every drag and drive, you think of one thing you can change.
Yep, exactly.
Cool. Thanks a lot, Phil.
Yep,
Appreciate
no
you.
Thank you.
All right. On the unique side of trailers, we've got Scott Guthrie and his C3 Corvette trailer. Scott, tell us a little bit about it.
Okay, so basically it's a jet ski trailer, and we had to cut the axle out of it and do about a 7-inch drop. So we custom made the 7-inch drop, but used the stock jet ski lightweight spindles, and then we used Ford to Chevy adapters so we could put the Corvette wheels on it so it looked like an actual Corvette. But we used parts cars, had a bird cage, gutted it from firewall to taillight so it's open all the way through. There's no forward or rear firewall. So it's a 4x8 sheet of plywood inside. Different parts cars are the doors, different years on the T-tops. We just threw them all together, and then we actually threw glass in it to make it look like a real vet. So everybody thinks that, you know, we tore up a car when we just recycled and actually saved the planet and all that good stuff. So just a wooden firewall, we fiberglassed it, and but it's starting to peel off the you know, that sealant, so we're going to re-fiberglass and make it waterproof. But we've got plenty of room for all our extra parts and tools, and we added a rack on the rear just like a regular hitch, so we can slide a rack in, haul our fuel, help balance out the tongue weight because it is forward heavy. And we got our drag slicks and everything that goes on the back, and of course we carry the American flag on the back.
So if you could do it all again and make any modification to it from the beginning, what would it be?
Big thing for me is I want to make it a hatchback, make the glass raise up so we can actually access everything in the back instead of having to reach all the way through. And I need to make organizational bins that are fixed, so I'm not just throwing stuff in and it looks like a hurricane went through your house.
Yeah.
So right now it's just jam-packed of crap, but we need to make organizers in the doors and stuff like that. So it's a great trailer, unique. The front rack was to hold tires, but it was too forward heavy, so we went with a back rack. And so now we just carry our awning on the front and the tires out back and a fuel out back, and it really balances everything out, so we only end up having a couple 100 pounds tongue weight.
Nice. Thanks, Scott.
Yeah, man.
Cool. Walk around it. right, I got Steve here with the Turbo Grand National, and we're taking a look at his trailer. Steve, why don't you tell me a little bit about it?
Yeah, so it started out as just a regular old motorcycle trailer. It's made to be pulled behind a motorcycle.
Yeah.
And I just added a tire rack to it. And that's about it, really.
Nice. It's small,
Yeah.
lightweight. How does it pull?
Don't even feel it.
Nice.
And I specifically bought this one because I don't have a pickup. I have a SUV, Escalade.
Yeah.
So I take the wheels off and take the tire thing off, and I can put it in the back of the truck.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So let me ask, if you were to start it all over again, what feature would you add or take away from this trailer to make it a little bit better? Gotta put you on the spot.
Honestly, I like it just like this. It's totally fine.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't have any complaints, yeah.
Sweet. Thanks a lot, Steve.
You got it.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right.
All right. All right, if you've come out to Rocky Mountain Race Week, then you have inevitably seen James Zajac and the Sketchy T out on the road. But this year he's sporting a pretty cool new trailer. James, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
All right, so a couple months ago, Jason reached out to me that a buddy of theirs down in Florida had this little trailer for sale.
Yeah.
Had the extra cash at the moment because I just sold one of my hot rods and had been wanting a Teardrop or something of the sort for a while. So I bought the little trailer, $1,500, and then we got it home. Reggie delivered it. He was already down there. Got it home and we found a lot of rotten wood and stuff in it, but it's still a bargain. These things sell for quite a bit of money. So instantly that started the whole snowball cycle of what we were going to do to make this thing drag and drive friendly. And Larry with the Humrod and myself, we pulled it in his shop one day. In an hour and a half, we tore it down from a box that was wobbly that would fall apart going down the road to bare frame, and then used the trailer frame to go to Lowe's to buy the lumber to redo the thing.
Wow.
And then we added a bunch of structure, just neat things that you'd want while you're on the trip. Right off the bat, new wood, had repurposed windows in the floors, and the door and stuff, but we added these uprights. The purpose for these were multiple things. I knew there was going to be trailer burnouts involved, and I knew that I'd be going at a high rate of speed, so I wanted some additional structure. But I've also got a nice little rollout awning here that's 8 foot by 6 foot.
Oh, how about that?
Handy, very nice to have. Unfortunately, the winds at Kearney broke a couple fasteners on it. I'll fix them when I get back. But it gives me the way to be able to haul my kayaks, and also provisions to put a roof basket on the top if I need to.
Nice.
Was going to run the roof basket in general, but I decided that the basket on the back works better for me with my slicks and fuel and stuff like that, because it takes, when I'm loaded in the back here and the trailer's properly loaded, I only have about 65, 75 pounds of tongue weight on it.
Oh, that's terrific.
Great in a car that only weighs 2,400 pounds.
No kidding.
Little flip up shelf here. Couldn't be much wider, but it's just enough to sit your beer on when you're sitting here. And the reason you got to have a place to sit the beer, obviously you got this, but right
Holy cow, look at this. We got a flat screen.
Flat screen TV we can flip out. We sit out here and watch hot rod movies, YouTube videos of the event, and just the craziness going on. Like right now with it raining, I'm watching Amazon Prime hotspotted off my phone.
This is terrific.
So works out of flips in and out of the way, real easy to use. And then on the inside here, of course, we've got the air conditioner.
Yeah.
I had it so cold in this thing last night, you could have hung meat in here. So after we done all that, we put it back together, added my little tiki lights. I like the tiki hot rod themes to it.
Check this out.
Flip up table on the side.
Yeah.
And then the little couch there, I bought off Amazon. It actually flips out into a bed.
Wow.
Sleeps very comfortably.
This is something else. So now when you're rolling down the road, you've got this filled up with tools and whatnot?
Yeah, I've got totes with tools and food and bags and stuff like that.
Okay.
I didn't have enough time. I've got some things that I'm going to do for next year. Actually planning on drawers that'll be right here.
Okay.
One in front of the axle, one behind the axle, so I'll be able to... I was going to do one long drawer, but I don't think that's going to work. I'm going to have 2 that I can pull out, and then I'll have a leg to flip down to support the weight. But I'll be able to keep all my tools, tire wrenches, jack, and all of that stuff in the drawers, so I can just pull out and get to what I need.
Yeah.
And then the totes, I'll have, my food, my clothing, bath supplies, and just basic stuff that you need while doing this craziness. So when I get to the track or get to the venue or whatever, I'll just go grab the totes, sit them out, and flip and do whatever, flip the bed. It's crazy right now. This is the first time using it. We're just now getting the setup. But once I get the process down, that's what a lot of this. We've had a lot of windshield time to figure out what would work. Once I get that set up, I think I can go from racing or driving to camping in 5 minutes.
That is awesome.
And like last night, it stormed like crazy. Barely heard it, slept rock the rock.
That's terrific.
So,
James, this trailer is great. Thank you so much for giving us a tour. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
All right, man. Standing here with my good friend Jason Schaefer. He drives the Chicken Coop. You've probably seen it out on the road with him and his co-pilot Angel, and he's got one of the more unique trailers here at Race Week. Jason, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, I want simple and I want function.
Yeah.
So mine's not the coolest looking trailer, but the function has got to be there because we use it for more than Race Week. Me and my wife have actually camped out of this 2 or 3 weeks at a time. Where are you gonna sleep? You know what I mean? This is the little $45 Amazon jobber. There's my tent, and it sits right there. Of course, I got boards to go flat on there. I got plenty. One box is all camp material. One box is cooler, food, and for this event, also I insulate it with things like a fire jacket and your protective gear for racing. But yeah, that tent opens right up, so you got that on both sides. A door on either side for sunrise and sunset. Things like cutting the fenders off, putting bigger tires on. I'll say this, guys, if you need a sturdy tire, I'm gonna put a hard sidewall trailer tire in here. I will not mess around with these again, but live and learn each time. Safety first, got your fire extinguisher on the hooker header collector. This is one of my favorite pieces. You gotta have Old Glory, right? You gotta fasten it well. Nick, you learned that one? We're working on that. Right here, I got the light for Old Glory. So she's illuminated going down the street. Got my 12-volt battery. This right here. So I can just hit a momentary push button, have running water.
Check that out.
I have a full time on, okay? And then if the dog gets its face dirty, or I need to wash the undercarriage, there you go, man. So you got your running water.
How cool is that?
And your little bitty hose. I'll put that back in a minute. But extra tail lights, super important. We're in hot rods. We don't have great visibility anyway. So you got lights down there. You got lights here. You got lights here. I've even got a third brake light illuminating that tag.
Very cool.
So going down the street at night, we're glowing. And before I open the kitchen box, which is very unorganized right now, that box up there is all tools, and this one's all clothes,
okay,
and other safety gear, helmet and stuff. What's this doing here? Give me just a minute. Hold on. Okay. Good with that. Got my camp stove, or stove here, camp grill here. Check this out. Couple buttons, and you got good lighting in there. And then, of course, you got the refrigerator switch here. This charging station, because it's in use right now, guys. I'm just testing this paper towel holder as far as placement. I'll probably put a real one in there. This rubber band, key secret, right? Keep a rubber band next to your paper towels.
The whole thing.
Yep. But check it out. We got an inverter, which is now on, and then you're going to see the DeWalt charging station will power up. Except, look here, my voltmeter says it's too low, but it did eventually power up.
Okay.
Okay, extra cigarette lighter here. This bad boy, I'll show you in a second. These cigarette lighters are great, USBs, fuses, and this charging station does a lot. I've got air compressor, jump box, the dog shock collar, because she's such a sweetie. She just needs a little discipline every now and then.
Very cool.
And the light goes in this. Aim up at that light. That light's telescopic, guys.
Whoa.
It's also extremely bright. So from inside the tent, if I hear a bear rustling around, bam.
Very cool.
Right here. It telescopes up another 6 foot if you want it.
Look at this. Let me take a step back so we can really see this. Wow.
So, it gets better. When you're doing drag and drive, you got a lot of friends, you look out for each other. We all share, you know, not share equipment to set up, but in emergency situations, we're allowed to give a little help. Well, somebody breaks and they're 3 cars away from me. I pull this pin, possibly break down on the side of the road, and it's a weapon too. I'm fully extended up there. So you got a billet spike there, goes right on the ground.
Yeah.
Built-in slide hammer. When you're set up, the light, I could go a little harder, but the that light right there is
Check that out.
up, engine bay, front and back of a car. So it works nice.
Jason, your trailer is the Swiss Army knife of Race Week.
That's what I was thought about naming it, the Swiss Army knife. I'll lay this down here so I can clean that mud off. But up there we got 12 gallons of water, extra fuel.
And so this water is what's feeding your
Yes,
pump?
that
Okay.
It's a pump. This one I'll keep with clean, like well water, you know what I mean? This
Yeah.
is just wet water anywhere I can get it for washing hands.
Okay.
So yeah, you got the hand washing station. Tires, I didn't show you this. Show you on this side.
Yeah.
Cradle on each side. One cable, fully adjustable. These tracks are adjustable, so you can pull them out and re-drill them.
Yeah.
And so if I put a wide slick on here,
Oh, okay.
out to here, it'll still fit the cradle.
That's great.
It's big enough for a 31 inch,
Mm-hmm.
and so I won't run anything taller than that on the track. So anyway, the tire cradle, so you put the tire in, you put one lug on it, it's locked in.
Nice.
Very fast.
Very cool.
Spare tire, it's Ford pattern and Chevy pattern. So it's a spare for the car and the truck.
Nice.
And then that's it. I think that's got some of it. Garbage bag is probably the most important one. You see the hooks on the back?
No.
Man, I'm telling you. The only problem is when you put a garbage bag on, you're everybody's friend.
All right.
Everybody puts
You turn into the trash man automatically. Look at that.
Yeah.
I don't see a bottle opener around here, Jason. What's...
You know, it's not done yet.
All right.
Work in progress.
Jason, one last question.
Yes, sir.
If you were going to change anything for next year's trailer, if you were going to make a modification, take something away, sky's the limit, money's not an option, what would you do?
Side opening doors.
Side opening doors.
100%. So I want to build this up like this.
Yeah.
And my platform will be here.
Okay.
Okay. And then up here is side opening doors.
Yeah.
Now I don't want to go too high because it's great to see behind your vehicle.
Sure.
We're swapping lanes a lot. We get silly out there on the road.
Okay.
So you'll want to see behind you. But if my platform was here, my side opening boxes were here,
Yeah.
these would slide under, the jack would slide under, spare tire would slide under, the spare water tank would be under,
Yeah.
of course up front. And then, can you imagine? With nothing in the way, I walk up, open the door, and I slide out my kitchen.
Yep.
I walk up, open a door, and I have toolbox drawers that pull out. Everything is, you never have to pick one thing up.
So you'd end up with 4 workbenches, a narrower trailer, things a little bit more consolidated, probably balance out a little bit better going down the road as well.
You got it. The other part is, imagine having your tent set up,
Yeah.
and then you realize you forgot your clean panties for tomorrow morning. Well, you got to move the tent to the top to get stuff out.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest drawback. I would definitely go different on that one.
Jason, thank you very much for your time, brother.
Love you guys. God bless, man.
All right.